You think?
SelectHealth, this is Karen. How may I direct your call?
Hello, Karen. I was interested to see if I could speak with the sales department.
Okay, are you trying to get an individual policy?
Correct.
Okay, one moment. I'll transfer you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Brad in the individual sales department. How can I help you?
Hello, Brad. I'm not quite sure exactly if I'm speaking with the right person. However, I signed up for a personal health insurance policy, but I was declined for pre-existing conditions. My health insurance, the insurance agency that I was going through, the reseller, told me that they changed what I was declined for, but I wasn't too certain, so I figured I would call you guys directly, because she didn't have all that information available.
Alright, can I get your name?
Yeah, my name is Ricardo.
Ricardo, do you mind holding for a moment, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks. Okay, the underwriters are saying that declined due to recent palpitations, anxiety, insomnia, with medications of Capodex, clonazepam, and zolpidem.
Right, I'm sorry, would you mind repeating that? Let me write that down. Because okay, yeah, because when they called me, was it today? They called me today, well, they're out to lunch. I guess they go to lunch for a couple of hours, so I can't call them back. But they told me that, she called me today, said that it wasn't because of heart palpitations. They went ahead and reviewed it again, and they said this time was because I had tachycardia, not the heart palpitations. So what I was interested to know if it actually changed, or if I'm still under, if it's still showing that it's heart palpitations.
Heart palpitations are increased. Heart rate would be tachycardia.
Right. Right. I know what these are, but I was just curious to know because when she called me, she told me that I was denied not because of the tachycardia. I mean, not because of the heart palpitations, because I was never diagnosed. I provided my medical records. She told me that it was they reviewed it once again, and she was requested by the underwriter to go ahead and contact me by her office, telling me that it was actually because of tachycardia, not the heart palpitations.
Our underwriter spoke with Gloria this morning.
Right.
Showing that, and she did not change the diagnosis or the decline actually in the showing on our system for her messages. Excuse me. So she told Gloria that it was tachycardia, and I do believe that she told her which page of your medical records had that on it.
Right, exactly. She told me to go back to October 20th, and that day it does show that I had the doctor put on there. I'm looking at it right now. It says tachycardia, doctor's note, this progress note was created from memory sometime after the visit. And it shows that my heart rate was 105, and that's because I left the gym. Apparently the doctor didn't note that on here, so I was curious to know what I should do at this point. Is it being declined because...
The decline, okay, so if you were to take and discount the tachycardia, and say, or palpitations, whatever you want to call them,
Alright.
and say that that's not in there, you still have the anxiety, insomnia with medications, and those medications are, the medications that we show for you are, typically the prices for those are higher than what the premium would be.
Alright, for the generics, because I'm not taking any sleep medications, and I'm taking a generic version. It shows on my medical records that I voluntarily stopped taking medications for insomnia.
Do you still have insomnia?
I don't know. They're trying to treat it in case I do have anxiety, so they're trying to take that approach. And the generic prescription version for that is about $8, so about $110 less than my monthly premium.
Okay. Ricardo, I would need to let the underwriter speak with you. Can you hold for Ricardo?
I'm here.
Thank you for holding.
Absolutely.
Okay, I talked to Betty Jo. She says that what you would have to do is state tachycardia, okay? And so that's a huge problem for us as far as a pre-existing condition. What she said is you would have to be at least a year from now with no problems or anything with the health, with the palpitations, no taking none of the medications, and with no problems on the anxiety. And then we would look at you again with your most recent medical records.
Right, but if I was able to get a note from the doctor showing that I came directly from the gym to the doctor when I had the tachycardia, is that something that could be reviewed?
If you want to, yeah, if you want to get a letter from the doctor, we'll look at it. I can't tell you that it'll change it, but if they will review the letter from the doctor if you want.
But
if
so other than that, as soon as I'm healthy and don't need to go to the doctor.
No, they haven't approved that yet. So you have what she said was.
Or a year from now, you said.
I'm saying what I'm saying is you can get the letter from your doctor and submit that, and we'll have the underwriters review it. That doesn't mean that they'll change whether they'll accept you as a client or a member right now. But like I say, they'll review it. They will look at it.
And I have a question. Is it pretty much is this even helping me out to submit this information, or is it pretty much you guys can decline whomever you would like? 'Cause just out of curiosity.
No, we can't. We have to meet criteria when applications are reviewed, and we have audits that happen periodically over in the underwriting department, and we have audits that happen in this department. No, we can't just say no. We're not going to take Ricardo.
Right.
You know, but we'll take John Smith. You know, we can't do that. They have criteria that they have to go by.
All right, is that something that I could look up just out of curiosity? It's just getting a little bit frustrating.
No, well.
So I got a letter like from SelectHealth.
Okay, so the criteria is not something that the underwriters or that the company will add. It's proprietary information.
All right, so it's not regulated by the government then, correct? So that's just internal policy?
Depends on what the instance is, but the government does have regulations that we have to follow. They can say this is not something that is serious enough that you can decline for that. They do have those regulations.
Oh, they do? Okay.
But they also say if this is the situation that somebody has, they would qualify to be covered under HIP Utah. If you're qualified to be covered under HIP Utah, then you won't meet the criteria to be covered under an individual plan.
Right. The reason why I ask is because SelectHealth sent me a letter that says, keep this certificate. This certificate is evidence of your coverage under this plan. Under federal law known as HIPAA, you may need evidence of your coverage to reduce pre-existing condition exclusion period under another plan to help you get special enrollment.
That's the pre-existing condition waiting period. That is after you are accepted on a plan.
Right.
Then you provide that certificate of coverage so that you don't have a pre-existing condition waiting period of up to 12 months.
Right. So what does that mean in this case? Because this is dated February 23rd of 2010, and it shows that date waiting period or affiliation period began on May 29th.
You're talking about two different things here. The pre-existing condition that is excluding you from coverage during the underwriting process is a pre-existing condition that you have. Okay? The pre-existing condition waiting period would mean if you're accepted on a plan,
right,
and you didn't have coverage prior to, or you had a lapse of coverage of 60 days or more before the plan started,
right,
you would be placed in a waiting period of up to 1 year. But if you did have coverage for that and you're accepted on a plan, then that you would provide that documentation so that you wouldn't have that waiting period. The two things are different.
So, okay, so at this point, because I was denied, no matter what, when I do sign up a year later, I'm still going to have the pre-existing condition then, right, since my policy lapsed?
Well, you could have if you don't get coverage between now and then, say with an employer, or if you don't pick up